everybody, and thanks for joining me. My name is Brian Henley, and I'm Director of Admissions here at Sacramento State. Our folks in our financial aid office have been working really hard over the last couple of weeks to get your financial aid award out to you. And we know deciding where to attend college is a big step for anyone, and deciding how to pay for that is also a question that lots of students have. So I'm joined today by Anita, who is our Director of Financial Aid and Scholarships here at Sacramento State. Glad you're here, Anita.
Thank you, Brian. I'm happy to be here.
First of all, can you tell us a little bit about how financial aid helps students pay for their tuition and fees in college?
Absolutely. So by now, all of you should have received either an estimated financial aid award or your actual financial aid award package. And you can see those in your student center. Just go to My Sac State Student Center and view financial aid award. And that money, ideally, after filing your financial aid application, we determine your eligibility for financial aid. You're actually putting together a lot of different types of financial aid to help come up with money for tuition and fees and other educational expenses.
Yeah, and we also know with tuition at about $7,500 per year, Sac State is a really good value, but there are opportunities to help students offset the cost of that tuition through various grants, loans, work study. So we encourage all of you to make sure you're looking at your student center now to see what that financial aid award is that's out there that's been offered to you. Anita, tell me a little bit about what the next steps are for students and how they would go about accepting their financial aid. And then, you know, as much as that, who should students contact if they have questions or they need some help interpreting that award that they've received?
Thanks, Brian. Good question. So, again, you can go to your student center to view your financial aid award. And as Brian mentioned, tuition and fees for the year are about $7,500. We round up a little bit. So when you're looking at your actual award, take it into account, you know, the aid you've been offered. We will automatically accept the grants on your behalf because that's free money. Then if you need additional money, you'll go into your student center and accept or decline any loans that you may have been offered. Or perhaps your family can help you out. You don't have to take a loan. Your family can just say, hey, you know, I'm going to give you $100 a month to help cover other costs. So really what you want to do is in your financial aid notification, there was a budget worksheet. You can take a look and figure out, okay, I'm getting these grants and that's going to help me pay tuition. And maybe that's all you need help with, just your direct tuition costs. But if you need help with housing and living expenses, then you may have to borrow a little bit more money, or as Brian said, work study could be available to you where you would actually could find a job on campus and get a regular paycheck to help offset some of those costs. If you have any questions when you're reviewing that award or trying to figure out your budget, you can always reach out to our Student Service Center. You can call 916-278-1000 or pop in on campus and visit us in Lesson Hall 1000.
So at this point, Anita, all of our audience has been admitted to the university. Our first year students will be registered for classes through our Hornet Launch program, and our transfer students will register for classes during their new student orientation program. When should students expect to pay tuition, and if their financial aid is not yet dispersed, how can they expect to be able to cover that?
That's always a good question. So what happens with the students, once you register for classes, the next day your charges will appear on your account. And then there's always a concern, oh my gosh, I have to pay $3,800. How am I going to pay for that? What we do for our financial aid students is what we call defer that payment until your financial aid is dispersed. So you'll see, unfortunately, it shows up in the hold section. You'll see a fee deferment, and that means you've either in the process of applying for financial aid or you actually have an award. We will pay financial aid the weekend before school starts, so around August 21st. So you don't have to worry about paying us anything. Go ahead and get registered, get your class schedule. And then starting that weekend of August 21st, your financial aid will disperse. And basically what happens is it pays, and it'll first apply to any outstanding institutional charges. So we'll go ahead and take money for your registration fees. And then if there's a credit balance on your account, you'll get that difference to help you with books and other living expenses.
And what if we have students who think, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to fill out the free application for federal student aid, the federal application for aid, or the California DREAM Act application for students for whom that would apply. Is it too late to do that at this point? And what if I filled out my FAFSA, but I just forgot to put Sacramento State's school code down there? How could students address that?
Those are great questions, Brian. Thank you. It's never too late to apply. You may have missed out. There's some grant money that has a priority filing deadline of March 2nd, but there's always other types of aid available. Work study, the federal Pell Grant is an entitlement, so you'll get that if you're eligible for that. And then there's always loans as an option, but you want to just get yourself in the system as soon as possible. And again, filing that financial aid paperwork, we'll see you're in the process, and again, we'll get that fee deferment on there, so you don't have to worry about coming up with that money for tuition until we process your financial aid.
All right. Thank you very much, Anita, and thank you all again for joining me. Once again, if you have questions about financial aid, feel free to contact our Student Service Center. The folks in that office would be happy to help you interpret your financial aid award, but also walk you through any steps that you need to complete between now and the time school starts. So once again, thank you all so much for joining me, and Stingers up.
Stingers up.